I've had my doubts about Liko since the very beginning. On one hand, the breath of fresh air having a female protagonist was a bold choice, but trying again with another sidekick after the failed experiment that was Go from Journeys was, for me at least, cause for concern. I don't know about y'all, but I like my anime protagonists unapologetically headstrong and in charge of their own destiny. So in the case of Pokemon Horizons, Liko, I would say, is a work in progress. But we've got a lot to cover, so let's start with the rollout. As we look back at the promotional material from Horizons, we've got Liko as the lead and Roy playing support. Because after watching 80 plus episodes, those roles are more accurate of a description than the dual protagonists that were advertised. I would love to highlight the Liko and Roy episodes where they play off each other in dramatic fashion, resulting in one of those character-defining moments, but those are few and far between. Instead, the series has been mainly focused on the Liko and Lucius storyline. Now, fast forward to present day, we're wrapping up the 4th arc with all 6 heroes in Liko's possession, on her way to Laquia to reunite these Pokemon with their original OT. So as we approach the climax to Horizon's main plotline, I want to take a look back at Liko's journey and determine how she stacks up as the lead protagonist. In hindsight, we've got the biggest bait and switch in how we thought Liko's training was going to happen. We're presented with a novice trainer with limited social skills and no starter Pokemon. As a character, this is perfect, a completely blank canvas. When Liko steps foot on Indigo Academy, eyes wide, ready to take on the challenge ahead, as a viewer, the expectations are set. I'm thinking what happens within these walls will be the foundation of our lead protagonist. But by the end of Liko's introduction in episode 2, she's whisked away by Han Solo on a Charizard. The little time we do see her interact with her surroundings is very much underwhelming. Except for Anne, who really held it down, being the saving grace of the show early on, being the first connection Liko makes. The biggest mistake here is that there is no mission statement expressed as we've seen with many past main characters in the anime. Looking back, we've got Ash, Pokemon Master, Hikari, Top Coordinator, even Serena, who had multiple goals throughout X and Y. So when Liko gets on the Route 22 bus in Kanto and says, "I want to learn things I don't know," I really wanted to teleport into the writer's room and say,
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Because at this moment, Liko is fighting an uphill battle, winning a large part of the fandom. Because you got the Ash holdouts that are just not on board at all, while you've got the minority of people, including myself, who are completely open to this new direction that the anime is going. Indigo Academy does serve a purpose, so her time there wasn't completely in vain. We generally see Liko just go through the motions, with occasional mishaps and funny moments which lean more towards slice of life rather than the traditional Pokemon anime. There are small glimpses of promise seeing her and Sprigatito as they start to build their bond. Clearly not seeing eye to eye, but eventually through her persistence, the grass starter eventually does come around. As I'm watching the first episode, seeing this introverted trainer paired up with her roommate Anne, the extrovert, both with a grass and water type, respectively. The alternate universe where we get an Eden Academy setting from Spy Family fame is what I believe they were laying the foundation for, given the shots from the lecture hall, outside schoolyard battles, and deep bedside chats. But man, I was wrong. We are barely past the intros, and here comes the new evil team, aka the Explorers, to kidnap Liko and her pendant. This was one of the first flaws in the writing that, in hindsight, does not justify how this was executed. How fast we go from Pokemon Hogwarts to Pokemon One Piece tells me the goal was to rip off the band-aid as fast as possible before the viewer is too invested with the school setting. To put it plainly, they needed to get Liko on this airship headed to this destination, but in accordance to Pokemon anime law, Liko has to have a starter Pokemon and a rival before her journey begins. Thus, we have Indigo Academy. And if you've watched up to the most recent episode, this school has almost zero relevance in the story. What's really happening here is the writers taking away Liko's opportunity to use the school as a resource to fight back against the Explorers over a span of episodes. cementing her capability of handling conflict as the so-called lead protagonist. Instead, we get the Rising Volt babysitters, who is at Liko's hip the entire series. Now, I will say the training wheels were taken off during the third arc Teraspu debut, when the Raha Academy was introduced and Liko, Roy, and Dot started their Terra training. Now we get back to form as we see Liko travel the Paldea region, taking on gym challenges and making real strides as a trainer, because battling Cap on top of that airship just was not it. Horizons is juggling so many great characters and ideas without committing to anything. The show almost plays as a randomizer with these side missions that are just as interesting as the main storyline, and it could benefit with another 10 or 15 episodes. But it always comes back to Lucius and the 6 heroes, with Liko handling the most important escort mission ever in the anime. At the time of me recording this video, we are episodes away from the finale of the 4th arc. So let's look back on how we got here. As an OG member of the Liko Defense Task Force, my response to anybody questioning our new protagonist is, let's wait. We didn't know what direction they were going, especially early on, so once the mission was clear and then executed, that would be the right time to assess Liko as a character, given we've seen her in action. To speedrun Horizon's plot, it's basically a family member accidentally activating an ancient family artifact, in this case a Pokemon Terapicus, that was in hibernation for 100 years due to an ancestor of that family member sacrificing themselves to stop an outbreak from destroying the world. Now the present family member Liko is trying to reunite those that were lost in the calamity. Horizons in a nutshell. Now in hindsight, this reads more like a Pokemon movie. If you look at it from a different lens, this is more Lucas's story finishing up more than Liko's journey. Because honestly, if Liko would have stayed at Indigo Academy, or even if we would have started things at Naraha Academy, her story would feel a lot more personal and not a family member carrying out an ancestor's last wish. And to add insult to injury, other than the initial encounter with these Pokemon, they mostly throughout the series just stay in their Pokeball. I will be fair, some of the best moments in the series is the skill checks that they give Liko, with some of these mons not looking for a battle, but something more intangible to deem her worthy. For example, Arbavila, who doesn't accept Liko until they save the forest by using Rain Dance. Then you've got Gouging Fire, who snatches Liko's belt and basically says, you gotta earn this. Then you've got the Rayquaza fight, which was laughable in terms of power scaling, because a terrestrialized Rayquaza should not have gone down that easy. Also, the decision that the writers chose to not have these Pokemon fully evolved at the finale is puzzling. It just doesn't make sense to me. All in all, the 6 hero storyline is amazing, but it should have been condensed to 1 arc, maybe 2. Dangling the carrot this long just diminishes the payoff. These Pokemon have very distinctive personalities, and if we were given more information on why they chose Lucius as their OT, that would have been more impactful for Liko as a trainer and would have been great for the viewer. Has Liko earned her spot on the Mount Rushmore of trainers? Absolutely not. But does she have the potential to get there? I believe so. It's just going to take a lot more time. But if she could stick around these characters for a little bit longer, it's going to be a fun ride. And I'm here for it. But as y'all know on this channel, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.